I'm Skye Newkirk. I'm a behavioral health counselor with Klickitat Valley Health, and I'm here to offer ways to support your mental health during the COVID-19 response. You're probably already aware that high stress leads to poor performance. This is common in folks who suffer from things like test anxiety or a specific phobia, such as public speaking. But I think all of us can relate. When you are being observed or you have high pressure to perform a task, it gets harder. The Yerkes-Dodson model visualizes this phenomenon, and it looks something like this. So in periods where there's no stress, our performance is way down low. So you can see performance is on this axis and our stress level is over here. So here we're underloaded and we're not performing very well. When we get to a certain level of stress, though, we have an optimum performance level right up here. When we get too overwhelmed with stressful situations, we do hit this place of fatigue and exhaustion, and our performance starts to go down. This is where there's too much stress and overload starts to set in. And if we don't do anything about our stress, it continues building into anxiety, panic, anger. We might get into the breakdown zone and our performance drops and drops and drops. And this is where our extreme stress sets in. I would argue that this line actually goes even further down when we have an acute stressor and we hit the freeze response, which is where we start to shut down or even dissociate in trauma. Everything in here is actually the good kind of stress, which is known as eustress. It's very motivating, it improves our performance, it really helps us focus our energy and is really invigorating. And when we challenge ourselves at this level, we have a sense of accomplishment or purpose, and we really grow as humans. It's typically pretty acute in nature. And yeah, so this is eustress. This is our positive stress area. When we get over here, this is what most people think of when they think of stress, which is distress. It's threatening, unpleasant, feels like there's imminent danger. And this is where we start to see impacts to our mental, emotional, and physical health. And it can be acute or chronic, and it affects our brain health ultimately. So what do you do if you notice that you're getting into the orange or the red zone? Well, a couple of things. For generalized stress, first thing you want to do is to check your self-care practices, heart, mind, body, and soul. Typically, when we're really stressed out and it starts to rise, our self-care goes down and down and down. And in order to balance that out, you have to start with the self-care and then the stress level will follow. So if you are authentic in what your needs are and you start to prioritize those needs, then you can start to bring balance back to that stress continuum and get back to better performance. Second thing is to check your self-talk. Research shows that those folks who have positive self-talk that coach themselves by saying, "Whew, I'm really excited, but I know I can handle this. I can rise to the occasion." Those folks perform a lot better than those who say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so anxious and I can't do this." So really be mindful about what thoughts are going through your head and whether your self-talk is positive and is helpful for you, or if you're getting into that negative headspace. For a significant anxiety trigger, I think it's best to talk to someone who can help you break free from the avoidance cycle of anxiety. That way you can get specific coping skills for whatever that phobia is, and actually start practicing working with that trigger and helping yourself grow and stretch so that it's not as scary anymore. Just remember that growth comes from that stretching, but only when it's healthy to do so. If you like this video, my name is Skye Newkirk. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. And this has been your mental health moment.